Hello everyone and welcome to another video. I'm accompanied by my cat Amy here, and Tekken 7 Season 3 is coming out soon. The patch notes have already been released and I'm going to talk about Lily in this video. She didn't get as many changes as other characters did. There's a whole list of buffs I thought could really help Lily in a fundamental way to make her tournament viable, but I feel like they only buffed her cheesy and gimmicky moves. Now keep in mind that we have these changes only on paper so far, and sometimes they are really vague, so we don't know how some of these changes will impact her gameplay. We know that she will get a new Power Crush, which will be fast, and her current Power Crush, forward 2, is really slow, and she cannot use it under pressure because it's so slow, and on top of that it has a forward motion built in it, so we cannot use it as a good panic tool. This new fast Power Crush is something she needed, but it's not something that will make her necessarily a much better character than she is, unless it's gonna wall bounce or something, which would be crazy. The other move, her old back one from Tekken 5 DR, I doubt that it's going to be a good move. Most likely they will just copy paste the move from Tekken 5 DR or from Sebastian in Tekken Tag 2. Now Lily's version in Tekken 5 DR was a 17 frame mid counter hit launcher that was +3 on block, but it had bad range and no tracking at all, so it was really easy to make that move with. Sebastian's version in Tekken Tag 2 was 1 frame faster, I believe, and neutral on block, but it still had a pretty bad hitbox. It was super linear, bad range, and also really high hitbox, so it's really easy to crush that back one move with mid crushing tools. Down 1+2 will most likely be her Power Crush, and up back one will most likely be her old back one, unless they buff the hitbox of this new version of her old back one, or they buff the frames on it. I don't see this move as being a game-breaking addition to her, unless it's going to be a safe normal hit launcher, but I don't think that's going to be the case, because it seems to me like Namco doesn't want Lily to have really strong fundamental tools, and definitely not a normal hit launcher with her up 3+4 does not count as a safe launcher, okay? You know, in most games, the developers don't want characters to be balanced in the eyes of the players and the audience. And in almost every game, there are characters that the developers want to be high tier. In every installment, in almost every installment. For example, the Mishimas. In every Tekken game, at least one Mishima was a top tier character or a really high tier character. And it's the opposite case for Lily. Namco doesn't want a cheesy bullshit evasive character to be top tier, because that would be too annoying to deal with. And so many people say, oh, she has the best sidestep in the game, giving her better moves would make her broken. But then we have characters like Alisa, who has one of the best sidesteps in the game as well, and on top of that, a really good backdash as well. And look at her, she was bottom tier in Tag 2, and since then she's been continuously getting a huge amount of buffs to the point where she became a top tier character. So Lily having the best sidestep in the game is not a valid excuse for her not getting more buffs. And her moves just don't work well together. Like, she has a lot of moves that seem really good at first sight to someone who does not play Lily. For example, down 4-3, a counter hit launcher which is +3 on block. or Kurisuku forward 3 plus 4, a homing move that is plus 6 on block, but they also don't give her a quick counter hit to follow it up with. She doesn't have a magic ward like most characters, and her fastest oppressive counter hit launcher is 20 frames fast. 3-1 being a wall bounce is probably the best change on this list for Lily. It's a 15 frame Punisher, which is minus 13 on block, so you cannot really use this for pressure. You use this pretty much only as a whip Punisher or a block Punisher for moves with pushback, such as Heihachi's forward 2 or Noctis's Aura, but even in this case, it doesn't have enough range to punish these moves at every range. They could have made Standing 3 14 frames fast instead, and this would be a bootleg 14 frame launcher for Lily. But okay. 3-2 increased the lower range of the attack. Now, they mean the second hit, which is a high. This won't really affect her poking, but it could improve her combos. There's a wall combo with 3-2 into Do Glide into wall standing 3, which is good for low wall splats. And these low wall splats happen very often with her forward 3 into Do Glide 1-2 Ender, which is her best wall carry option. And so this could mean that she would get a better wall combo after low wall splats. Currently, this combo works in Season 2 as well, 3-2 into Do Glide into wall standing 3, but it's super inconsistent. It doesn't work on female characters, and even on male characters, it's going to whiff randomly sometimes. So I'm guessing it's going to be more consistent now. Ideally, it's going to work on female characters as well. Down back 3. Increased the lower range of the attack. Now this is not even a buff, this is just a fix to something that did not work as intended in Season 2. Down back 3 is a homing move. It's a high homing move with a really bad range, and it also had a really bad hitbox in Season 2, because female characters could sidestep this move. Now here's a good one. Back to 1 into a new Do Glide transition with forward. You know, there's this joke on one of the Lily discords where somebody said that in Season 3 they would just give Lily a new Do Glide transition and call it a day. And unironically, this person was right. And they gave this transition to a move that is not even that good to begin with. Yes, Back to 1 is a 13 frame high mid string that is safe and natural on hit, but the problem with this move is that the first hit has terrible range, and the animation is like she goes with her hand over her head like this, so there's no way this move will ever have good range, at least the first hit. The second hit has quite a good hitbox, it has some tracking, and it has better reach than the first hit, but still, the first hit just sucks. They better give Lily an unsteppable and uninterruptible wall standing 4 after this Do Glide transition. She had that after her back 1 transition previously, but they even took that out. Now here's another oh so great buff for Lily. Back towards enemy 1-2. Changed the input window for the second hit from 8 frames to 10 frames. Now back to 1-2 is a jab string. It's high and it does not even jail on block, meaning you can just duck the second hit and launch Lily. And it's also a string that you will never see Lily players use, like ever, unless it's a misinput and they were going for back to 1+2, or for combos, or for a guaranteed, or as a guaranteed follow-up after her counter hit Root of Evil. Maybe this means that the jab string will be hit confirmable now, but it doesn't seem like a big enough window for me for hit confirm. I don't know. Now don't get me wrong, I appreciate all the buffs she got in Tekken 7, especially the 2 big buffs in Season 2, Forward 2-3 being a 12 frame Punisher instead of a 13 frame Punisher, and Quarter Circle Forward 3+4 being finally a homing move. But can you really compare these buffs to the buffs the majority of the character roster gets? I think not. Not to mention the fact